Yes. Good morning, dear students.
Good morning, dear students.
Today, we are on the second session of Strategic Financial Management paper. Today, we are having with us our Honorable Central Council member, CA Dr. Rajkumar Adhukia ji. He is the chairman of Committee on Economic Commercial Laws and Economic Advisory. And he's also the chairman of CPE, Publication and CDS Directorate. He's a well-versed person and he's there with us to guide you as to how really you need to deal the pressure time of exams and how really to plan your studies. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, FCA's future chartered accountants and respected CA Vandana ji, CA Ashish ji. And, in a positive manner, my wish is that I will die in exam hall. So this shows how to make learning as a passion, keep on doing. So I was looking at this subject, strategic financial management. And before I address, I would like to share my own journey as a CA. I passed Inter CA in May 81 with first rank. And of both the attempt, I was the highest mark. So, there is an award, GP Kapadia, for the best student of the year, May 81 and November 81 exam. So, in May 81, I had not expected rank. Like an ordinary student, I may pass, I may fail. But when I got a rank, I decided nothing doing in the final, I will get first rank. My preparation got doubled and maybe trebled. And I received 6th rank in final CA in May 83 exam. So learning and passing happens twice. Any event happens twice. Today's webinar is happening second time. First in the mind. First, Board of Studies took a decision. Chairman Dayanivas Sharma ji, Vice Chairman Vishal Doshi ji, the Director of Studies Vanna and the whole team ki every day we will reach out to the students. And second time that event happens when it really happens. I would like to talk on learning. I learn any subject as a junior KG student or maybe lower than that. So if it is strategic financial management, what is strategic? So strategic is one which gives an exponential result. It gives a result more than normal. What is finance? I consider, 4 factors of business: man, machine, material, and money. And in man, I would like to include the entrepreneur, CEO also. So the finance is the blood of business, because without finance, one cannot do anything. Even the charity things are done through finance. Then few tricks which I have followed from my student days of 1980. Till 1980, when I became graduate, I was an ordinary student. So in last 42 years, making acronym. So to recall, like I said, 4M, it was very easy for me to recall man, machine, material, and money. Then a repetitive learning. Even when I was a BCom student, I used to buy all books in the market on that subject. So like, I was talking to Ashish ji, in strategic financial management, what books are required. He mentioned me 3 books, John Hull, Mr. Damodran, Prasanna Chandra ji. To give you an example, like I'll give an example of accounting. We had Sukla and Garewal in those years, 1980s, and R.L. Gupta. Now, I found some chapter very lucidly explained in R.L. Gupta, whereas Sukla Garewal was little of a higher nature. So, my request to each one of you is study from different sources. The study first point is a syllabus. Syllabus is a boundary line. And give importance to all chapters. I do not believe in theory of selective study because each chapter is interrelated. Second comes a question papers, because question papers gives an idea what kind of questions have been asked. Nowadays we are very lucky. We have a scanner, we have a pen drive, we have a mobile app, we have a reach to a faculty. We can directly. I would also like to share my number, mobile number. I'll say 2 times, 9820061049 and 9820061049. So anyone who wish to discuss with me, because that brings me to a discussion technique. So till now, when I'm learning something, I request a team member. When I was a student, there was another student who is equally serious compared to me, and we used to decide, okay, today we are going to study security analysis. So in the evening, both of us, we used to discuss how that friend has studied security analysis, what are his difficulties, what acronym that my friend has made, and I will share with my friend my acronyms, my learning, my difficulties. Then another thing, we have heard about a story of hare and tortoise. Both participate in a competition of running, and we know that tortoise wins the race. So start early, start from day one. I used to do 2-3 courses simultaneously. So CA and costing was together. So suppose today CA exam last paper is there at 1 o'clock, the exam is over. I'll have my lunch, take little bit rest. At 2 o'clock, my preparation for costing will start. That exam may be after 3 months. Another technique is making short notes. You decide your notes, 40 pages, 100 pages, 20 pages. So jot down the points when you are studying the chapter. I'm very quick to discuss my learning. Another thing, in solving a practical problems, I used to solve only those problems where solution is there. Where solution is not there, I will not do the solving of those problems, or maybe I will do later. And I will solve without looking at solution on my own. And then I will compare my solution with the solution given in the book. And once I have done this exercise from one book, that book will not be touched for practical aspects. For that problem again, because once a problem is done, so today's topic, I have not done that vast reading I wanted to do. But I'll give you one example of accounting. See, closing stock is normally an adjustment item. Adjustment item means it is outside a trial balance. Something which is outside trial balance will have 2 impacts, debit impact and credit impact, because the father of double entry bookkeeping, Luca Pacioli, he was a mathematician, Italian mathematician. He said every debit will have an equal credit. But suppose if the closing stock is in trial balance, then it will go only at one place. It can't go at 2 places because it is in trial balance. So to bring in trial balance, the preparer of the books must have passed an accounting entry, closing stock account debit to purchases. So purchases are adjusted. It is a reduced purchases which comes in the trading account. and closing stock will come in the balance sheet on the asset side. I strongly request you to study from a practical approach. Those who are viewing this video, I would divide into two categories: those who are appearing in November 22 exams and those who are appearing in May 23 or November 23. So my suggestion is, when you study, if you study from a practical approach, then everything gets registered in the mind. Whatever I have learned, friends, believe me, in 1980, I can easily recall even after 42 years in 2022. And like, the physical health, if we exercise more, we will become more healthy. Similarly, the brain is a hardware and mind is a software. So if we do more of brain exercise through mind, the mind will become more alert, more understanding, more absorbing. So and I saw this subject, strategic financial management, we can be a multiplier to an MBA, because MBA, what they do, they study a business, but in our blood, the practical training of 3 years and professional skepticism, the terminology which comes in our audit science. Professional skepticism means inquiring attitude. So the 3 main decisions in finance which we take: financing decisions, investment decisions, and dividend decisions. How we can do it better, that we learn in SFM. Because, and it gives a lot of exposure to big fish like, mutual funds, stock exchanges, derivatives, commodity derivatives, international finance, external commercial borrowing. And we have a base foundation, and if we have not read that intermediate properly, the economics of finance, the monetary policy, how it affects the tax policy, and other aspect, we should, every day is a learning day. And I personally feel, with God giving us 24 hours in a day, and today also, and when I was a student also, I used to study maybe around 12 to 13 hours. And it does not affect. When I was a CA student, my study time was in the night 11 p.m. to morning 5 a.m. in the kitchen of the house. So we have to mold environment. I can't create an environment as per my wish. The available environment I have to mold, where I can discover a diamond which is within me. So I wish you best of luck. I would like to talk to you more, and therefore I gave my cell number. Otherwise, in the social media, all uniformity is there. CA Dr. Rajkumar Adukia. You will find me on all platforms, 20 plus platforms. And as a student also, you can make an attempt of writing books, participating in students' conferences, presenting papers. Perhaps all those things were not there before 42 years when I was a student, a CA student. And but these are all available to you. And please focus. See, time is one product which has no price tag. I was feeling very bad when I got late by 4 minutes. I cannot borrow time. Okay, I have 10 hours extra. Please give me in October when I am preparing more. I cannot purchase from the market. I cannot keep in the refrigerator. And what I did not study in my student days, I am studying now. I completed my LLM in July 21. I am now studying MA Economics, MA Psychology. After becoming CA also, I did MCOM to learn more. So those who want to succeed and create miracle in the world, please invest every second available to you in the learning, because once we have selected a profession, we will be selling our knowledge as a product rather than a tangible product. So thank you, Vandana ji. Thank you, Ashish ji, for giving me this opportunity to talk to wonderful future chartered accountants. And I thank the whole Board of Studies, where I am also a member, but especially the chairman and vice chairman, Dayanivas ji and Vishal ji, for taking this, beautiful initiative, reaching, like, government says, we are at the doorstep of the citizen. So institute is saying ki we are at the doorstep of the student. We will reach out to you rather than you approaching us. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your very special tips, sir, which you have given. Sir, what you have mentioned is about 4 M's: man, machine, material, and money. These are the key things which actually is there, are the key factors of economics also, and finance is no different from there. So you have really put stress on that, and students, sir has really just told you in his own words what he has done, his own experience he has shared with you. He's saying that you should learn the art of learning. It should be a repetitive learning. And also he said, you cannot buy time. So value time, because this is something you cannot buy it from out. You have to rather make use of each single minute so that you are able to make best use. And yes, because the exams are in November, that cannot be postponed. So your studies also have to start from day one, right? And students, sir has also very well apprised you about the making of short notes, because it will really help you in the last moment. And one thing more, he said, start from day one. Solve the question. Don't see the answer. Once you have done it, then see where you have missed. So, sir, and the last thing which sir has put emphasis on, that follow the practical approach. So if you have that practical approach, don't read it for the sake of it. Just correlate the same with what is happening outside. How practically you can use your knowledge. So practically, if you learn it, you will never forget it. Like sir is saying, if you ask him from any topic, you may ask him. He's such a versatile person that he says after 42 years also, you ask him and he'll be able to answer at this moment. So this is how, because he has learned from the practical approach. So learn from his experience and you will be wonderful chartered accountant. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll be exiting. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. So students, you have heard the Honorable Central Council member, CA Dr. Rajkumar Adukia ji. He has shared his experience with you. So just try imbibing what you are learning, what you are listening from all our Central Council members. They are telling you from their own experience, and experience will always enrich you and will enrich your knowledge, manner of learning. And this is what you need to actually learn over here. Don't waste your time. Don't talk to people. Don't see that who has learned what, how much he has done, how much my friend has done. Just see, make your own planning. Make the planning as per your own self. Don't compare yourself with others, because you are unique. Every person is a unique person. You have your own qualities. So work on your qualities and success is going to be yours. So students, yesterday Ashish and Vivek, have taken you through the financial policy and corporate strategy, risk management, security analysis, security valuation, and securitization. So today they'll be taking you through the remaining topics.
First, we shall take the paper.
Okay. So students, before they will take up the remaining topics, they will work on the last question paper of May exam. They will take you through each question as to how you really need to attempt and where you have gone wrong if you have already appeared. So students, listen to them very carefully. Their BOS is with you. And like sir has also said, BOS is at your doorstep. So we are there always for you. You are not able to understand something, raise that query. You can also pose your query in the Ask Your Queries section in the BOS mobile app also. So students, all the best. And Ashish and Vivek will now take you through the remaining topics and the question papers. And so listen to them very carefully. And students, just wait for 1 minute. We'll be changing the platform and then the session will get resumed. Kindly wait for a minute.
Good morning, friends. I, CA Ashish Gupta, Deputy Director Board of Studies, along with me, CS Vivek Banerjee, shall continue tomorrow's session. However, so we have planned for taking the topics, but I thought it will be more student may be more interested in discussing the recent question paper, because now those who have taken this question paper, we shall discuss where they have lost the marks, and it will be a very good guiding factor for them also. For the student who are taking the first time examination, this will be this will help them to score good marks, because they can avoid the errors that has been noticed to has come to our notice. Okay, students, let us start with the question paper. Now this is a question paper. Students, please note, as although it is a common practice, uh, uh, of course it is by default we understand that okay, what is the question paper, it is same. जैसा कि हम बच्चे होता क्या है कि जब हम क्वेश्चन पेपर देने जाते हैं, विवेक थोड़ा सा इधर आ, कैमरा थोड़ा सा, जब हम क्वेश्चन पेपर देने जाते हैं तो हमारे दिमाग में क्या होता है कि वही सेट पैटर्न होता है कि पहला क्वेश्चन कंपलसरी एंड any four remaining from the out of 5. But student, please remember, because it is always in our mind that first question is compulsory and 4 questions from the out of remaining 5. But please remember, it is always better if you read the question paper, because instruction clearly, because sometimes there may be some change. So first read the question paper clearly. One second, no problem. Okay, student. So question number 1 is compulsory. One second, student, no problem. Question number 1 is compulsory. Okay, any 4 remaining from the out of. So there is, please read this condition carefully. Working notes should form the part of the respective answer. Working notes बहुत जरूरी हैं स्टूडेंट्स, क्योंकि ये नॉर्मली अक्सर देखा गया है कि बच्चे वर्किंग नोट्स में गड़बड़ कर जाते हैं. वर्किंग नोट्स करते हैं, दे डू देयर वर्किंग, बट उसको रफ में कर देते हैं. इट हैज़ बीन ऑब्जर्व दैट स्टूडेंट नॉर्मली डू द रफ वर्किंग, but they do it in the rough portion, which is not evaluated at all. So whatever working they are carry out, रीजनेबल वर्किंग नोट शुड बी देयर. ये हमेशा याद रखिए. ऐसा कई बार क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं बच्चे कि हमारे सर वर्किंग नोट्स कितने होने चाहिए, ज़्यादा होने चाहिए, कम होने चाहिए. द आंसर इज रीजनेबल वर्किंग नोट्स, बिकॉज it is more important that you should, suppose if you are taking any decision on one figure, so you should make how you have reached clear, you should make it clear how you have reached to this figure. अगर मान लीजिए अगर मैं एक फिगर के बेस पे डिसीजन ले रहा हूं, तो मुझे ये बताना जरूरी है कि वो फिगर पे मैं पहुंचा कैसे हूं, तो वही हमारा वर्किंग नोट है. स्टूडेंट, माय वन caveat, whatever I am discussing in Hindi, it has already been covered in the English also. So students who are can understand the Hindi, please don't worry, I will not miss out even single word that I have spoken in the Hindi. However, जो दूसरे बच्चे हैं वो भी जान लें कि मैं कोई हिंदी और इंग्लिश मिक्स पढ़ाएंगे आज थोड़ा सा, जिससे कि आपको क्वेश्चंस की सारी निटिकिटीज पता लगे. Okay, student, let us move. So I am coming to the question number 1. Now, students, please read this question. Question number 1A. This question carries the 8 marks. Now, students, this question is basically already covered in your study material. Okay, the question number is question number 24, 42 on a page number 5.6 of your 5.5, sorry, 9.56 of your study material. So that this question has been same, only this question has been adapted from the same. So just read the question carefully, then I will discuss the solution with you. The question says like that there is a Daksh Limited, it is planning to import multi-purpose. So when it is importing, so of course forex is involved. Okay, now the machine cost is 15,000. The company can, it has a two option. Either company can avail the loan at the 19% interest rate per annum. Now, please student really read this word carefully. Quarterly rest. This is the crux point, or you can say it is an important point of the question, with which it can import the machine. However, there is an offer from the New York branch of an Indian-based bank extending 180 days at a 2% per annum against opening of letter of an irrevocable. So there are two options. Okay, either they can go for a loan with the Indian bank, or they can go with the option with the foreign bank. Other information, spot rate, 180 days, forward rate. You know that student, spot rate means 2 days, and normally as usual, the delivery is taken in the 2 business days. Forward rate means more than 2 days. Now student, here I would like to draw your attention, because whatever covered in the syllabus, we shall discuss here in the question paper itself. Now student, normally there are three types of rates. Cash rate. These are normally on the immediate delivery base. Okay, you suppose you are traveling outside India. आप मान लीजिए आप दिल्ली इंडिया के बाहर जाना चाह रहे हैं और आप फॉरेन करेंसी लेकर जाना चाहेंगे. If you are traveling outside India, of course you will have to carry the foreign currency with you. You go to the authorized dealer, you pay in the Indian INR and get the foreign exchange. So आप एक authorized dealer के पास जाते हैं, कैश लेते हैं, कैश देते हैं और फॉरेन एक्सचेंज ले लेते हैं. कैश आपका INR में होता है देने वाला, और लेने वाला आपका फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में होता है. सो दिस आर नॉर्मली यूज कैश रेट. एक होता है स्पॉट रेट, जिसकी 2 बिजनेस डेज में डिलीवरी होती है, और एक होता है फॉरवर्ड रेट. फॉरवर्ड रेट मीन्स होता है जनरली जिसमें आपका मोर देन 2 डेज हो. सो जनरली ये होते हैं 1 मंथ, 2 मंथ, 3 मंथ, 6 मंथ, 9 मंथ, and at the most 12 months. So normally these quotations are there because quotation for more than 12 months are normally not available. Amandeep is asking, sir, is it compulsory to do first question first, or can you do it after attempting other question? I think, Amandeep, maybe you can do it after. It hardly matters. But I think there are some instruction in your answer book. If there are there is no such instruction are there that you have to attempt the question, all the question in order, then of course you can attempt the question first in the last, no problem. But please remember, do all the parts of question number 1A, 1B, C at one place. It should not be happen that you attempt 1A, then you after 2B you attempt 1C. So they should not be like that. Of course, if there are no instruction, but still, Aman, I will request, please you contact me at the number I will share with you. In a day or two, I will get it more confirmed from the examination department. Don't worry about the same. Okay, students. So now it's further it says, now justify why why the offer from the foreign branch should be accepted. Foreign branch means LC. Okay. Now another question. See, student, the question in a practice manual in the study material is limited to that one. Okay. Now this part has been newly added this time, and it is a very good point because it basically involves the decision regarding your advice. It is kind of advice, and that is most crucial part of the strategic part management. Okay. Now student, and very important, assume 360 days in a year. Student, please remember, sometimes a question is asked, sir, how many days we should assume in the question examination. Student, if nothing has been mentioned, of course you are at a choice. Either you can go for 365 or 360 days. I think I need to do it a little bit. Okay, you can go for either option. But if they have been mentioned 360 days, so you have to follow it religiously. Religiously, you have to follow this instruction. Don't try to do it 365 assume, because it will deduct your marks. Even when you present your answer, suppose I will show you the answer, I will use 180 days by 360. what I have observed that students are writing like 6 months upon 12 months. Student, it is a wrong, it will get deducted your marks. Even 1 by 2 may be wrong. Of course, the resultant figure will be 1 by 2. But please remember, you have to present the whole facts in this question. Okay, student? So now I just take you to the solution of the question. Quickly, I will solve the question. Of course, the solution will be available you to the suggested answers once they are hosted. Okay, Amandeep, I will note down. I will note down your number and I will give a call. Otherwise, you can. I will share my number in the end. You can contact me. No problem. But I will contact you. Okay, students. I take you the solution now. One second. Solution is. Let's copy it. Okay. Now I am coming. First, I am covering option 1. That is loan from the Indian bank. Okay, student. First of all, cost of equipment it is $15,000. Now we are making the payment just now. In this question, what we are doing, we are making the payment just now. So we are applying the spot rate, that is rupees 75, and the resultant figure will be rupees 11,020, 11,25,000. Okay, student. Now here we add the interest. Now here, student, please note, as I told you, that there is line written that quarterly rest. It means you have to make it quarterly compounding. Okay, so we compute the interest at 4.75% first quarter, 53,438. Add interest at the rate 4.74 second quarter. Now, student, please note, here we have computed this 4.75 on this figure. But now we shall compute this interest combining this figure. So hence, little bit there will be an, you see there is a little increase in this amount. The resultant figure is 12,34,414. Now, student, alternatively, this figure can also be computed like if we simply say make it compounding using simple compounding formula, but on a 1 quarter basis, because our rate of interest is 19% per annum, we divide it by, I think it is 19 second. Yeah, it is 19% per annum. So quarterly compounding is divided by 4 and number of compounding is 2. Okay, so 11 this 1000 is there. We get the figure of 12,34,413. Okay, so now option 1 is complete. Now I am coming to second option. In this, it is a LC. LC, I am approaching to the foreign bank. ठीक है ना, or foreign branch. Okay, I am approaching to the same bank. Now, first of all, cost of letter of credit. Okay, cost of letter of credit at the rate of 1% on US dollar. Now it will be at a 15,000. Now I will just pay only 1% because you see in the question here just now, right now I will pay the 1% as you can kind of say commitment fees. Okay, now here I have to pay it just now. So my dollar will be 1% of is 150 into my, I will use my spot rate and the figure will come. Okay, now I will add interest to it. %19 into 180 days upon student. Here there is nothing commitment like that. What we are doing now, students sometimes ask, sir, why we are calculating interest on this? Student, please see, we are whenever in finance we are comparing any two options, we have to consider time factor, and we have to consider the time factor. Of course we are paying 11,250, but we shall assume its opportunity cost. We shall also incorporate opportunity cost in this answer also. Okay, so now we compute it. Okay, now this is the figure. It is you can say it is a kind of a commitment fees. Now payment after, of course I have to make the payment. Now cost is our in okay student. Now here figure is this much of dollar. This much of dollar we have to make the payment. 12,000, sorry, 15,000. 1 second, I just write it here. 15,150. Okay student, now this payment I have to make after 180 days. So I will take the forward position, and my forward rate is 77 rupees per US dollar. Accordingly, my payment will be 1166 550. Okay student, now my two payments, one is this payment, another is this payment. I add up the same, I get the figure 11,78,869. Okay student, now question is which option we should opt. Now it says ki why, because here the outflow is 11,78,000, and here in my our 1 second, इसमें पिछली शीट आ जाती है क्या, पिछली शीट चली जाती है क्या? अच्छा ठीक है, 1 second ये मैंने पहली शीट पे काम किया था ना, एक पे आ गया ठीक है, नहीं इस शीट पे काम किया था ना, वो काम गया गया, चलो छोड़ो रहने दो, कोई नहीं. Okay student, now in the option 1 our outflow was 12,34,413. Accordingly we should opt for this option. Okay student, so we should normally we have, when we have gone for the views of the examiner, so some have said that student have taken the 180 days. This was a common mistake. This in a previous sheet I was just let me search it. पिछली शीट जो हमने काम करा वो उड़ जाती है क्या, फिर क्यों नहीं आ रही है? One second student. Yeah, okay. Now, student, we have reached to the first sheet. The common problem was our this quarterly rest. Main problem was this, and again the conversion problem. Okay, and one more problem that have been noticed during the our feedback. Some student had even missed out this interest on LC portion. This is a very important. Okay, so these some mistakes we has been come to our notice. So student, please take care of this in your examination. Now I am coming to the question. Next question. This question, please read the question. Then I discuss with you. Oh, 1 second, student. I think one major thing I have left out. Student, please see second part. It is very important that I have missed out. Now, in the second part of first, this question of it was saying, based on the present market condition, company is not interested in to take the risk of the currency fluctuation and want to hedge it with an additional expenses of 30,000. If so, what is the advice of the company? Now, student, what happens? The company may be interested that they don't hedge the position because they are taking the forward position by purchasing the $15,000 at the rate of 77. Okay, as it has been shown here. 1 second. Okay, so it may be possible that company may say, I am not interested in taking this forward position. Then what is your advice? They can take a guarantee from a person that of course the dollar will be available at rupees 75, but they have to spend 20 rupees 30,000 for the same. So in that case, what is your advice? Now student, please note here the additional expenses are 30,000. Okay, so more or less if we compare the cash outflow under two option, because here we can say that like our spot rate is 75. Okay, our spot rate is 75 and our forward rate is 77. So ultimately there is a difference of rupees 2, and if we multiply 2 with the 15,000, so of course they are nearby almost same figure. So either they can go for hedging or not hedging. Not hedging means of course they are doing the hedging, but they are paying some insurance premium kind of a thing that the spot the dollar will be available at spot. So this part was a new addition to this question, and student could not understand the language of this, what is exactly examiner is also. So that's why I always say please read the question carefully, and because it has been observed that student normally mug up the questions and produce the answer in examination. So this kind of a question you have to in the type of a question you should see. Okay students, now I am coming to the second question. Now this question is basically your question number 18. It has been adopted from there. Page number 8.45 of study material. Okay, please read the question carefully, quickly. Now, this is a call option question. Okay, expected price and respective probability has been given to you. Now, student, it is very important. Whenever this type of a question comes where some probability has been given, it is always advised you just carry out the adding of this value. The value should be 1. Okay. Now, if there is any mistake, so please don't worry, continue with the same values. Okay, we will take care at our own end. Now, student, in this question, what happens? These 3 points are same. Only this was an additional point. And as usual, student has committed a mistake in this. Although overall the performance in this question was, I think it was a good one. Let me check. Yes, good performance has been observed in this question, but major mistake have been observed in the fourth part. Now, I am just solving quickly the question, because this question says about that the expected. Just I'm quickly just noting the facts here. You have purchased you have purchased 3-month call option on equity share of Satya Limited at a premium of rupees 30. The current market price of the share is 560, exercise price 590, and expect price to range between 540 and 640. So 540, 560, 580, 620 and 640. So somewhere around 20 rupees differences are there, and respective probabilities are there. It says next it says expected share price at the, what we are need to compute expected share price at the end of 3 months, value of call option and the 3 months if exercise price prevails. Now it is very important. Exercise price prevails means, although we have been given this price expectations 540, 560, 580, but our exercise price is basically 590. Okay, our exercise price is 590. So 590 somewhere lie in between these values. So if exercise price prevails means, if the market price happens to be, means market price and exercise price becomes the same. Okay. In case this option is held till its maturity, what will be the expected value of call options? So we have to see the all scenarios. Last, find out the price of the share quoted at the exchange to get the value call option as computed as 3. Now, what will be the call option here? Value that will be added to our exercise price here. Now, let us start solving the question. Quickly, I am solving the question so that you can note down. First of all, we can first we compute the expected price. Okay. Student, you can present this answer in tabular form as well as in equation form. There is no difference. Sometimes students say, sir, either I can this way, that way. It hardly matters. You have to reach to the correct value. Student, please correct me if I am wrong at any place. It will be indicate your consciousness. Okay, student. Now I am coming to second part. This is the expected market price, because simply multiplying that with the expected probability. It is kind of just like, you can say it is kind of a weighted average. Okay, just try to understand the concept. Now next is coming value of call option at the end of 3 months if exercise prevails. Now student, please note, if exercise prevails at the market price at the after 3 months, now the value of call option will be 0. Why it is 0? Because either they can go for the market to buy the share, or he can exercise his option. In both case he will need to surrender rupees 590. अगर वो चाहे तो मार्केट से खरीदे, चाहे वो ऑप्शन एक्सरसाइज करे, दोनों केस में उसको 590 रुपए देने हैं. तो 590 रुपए देने हैं तो उसकी ऑप्शन का कोई फायदा नहीं है. सो ऑप्शन की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी? 0. Now I am coming to quickly third part. I think for third part I have to take it to the next sheet. Okay. If the option is held till maturity, now student, just we write here expected prices 540, 560, 580, 600, 620, 640. Okay student, now value of call. Here student should note the point. Student please note, sometimes student do this question very blindly. Now when price is less than 590, nobody will like to exercise his call option. So correspondingly value will be 0. When it is the value is market price is expected market price 600 and exercise by 590, of course there is a benefit of rupees 10 in exercising the option. The value will be, sorry, it is 30, it is 50. I hope it is clear. Now respective probabilities we jot down here. आप स्टूडेंट याद रखिए कि जब मार्केट प्राइस 590 रुपए से कम होगी तो ही कॉल ऑप्शन एक्सरसाइज करने का फायदा है, अन्यथा कोई उसको एक्सरसाइज करने का कोई फायदा नहीं है अपने अधिकार का, क्योंकि मार्केट में उससे कम रेट पे अवेलेबल है. और जब रेट 590 से ऊपर जाता है, जैसे 600, 620 और 640 है, तो ऐसे समय में उसको एक्सरसाइज करने का मुनाफा मिलेगा. और वो मुनाफा कितना रहेगा? 10, 30 और 50 रुपया. और इसको हम प्रोबेबिलिटी से मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं. नाउ एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू वी मल्टीप्लाई दिस वी गेट द वैल्यूज. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, हम इनको मल्टीप्लाई करके वैल्यूज निकालते हैं. तो हमारा आंसर ये 17 रुपये आ जाता, 17 रुपये आ जाता है. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ आई एम कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. एडिशनल पॉइंट में कहता है कि व्हाट इज प्राइस टू बी कोटेड एट द स्टॉक एक्सचेंज टू गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ द कॉल ऑप्शन. स्टूडेंट प्लीज नोट, 590 रुपया इसका प्राइस है और हमारा प्रीमियम कितना है, हमारी ऑप्शन की वैल्यू कितनी आई थी इस शीट पे? 17 रुपये. तो ये 17 रुपये ही हमारा, अगर मार्केट में प्राइस 607 रुपया है तो हमारा एक तरह से देखिए क्या, व्हाट इज इट सेज, द प्राइस टू बी कोटेड एट द स्टॉक एक्सचेंज टू गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ कॉल ऑप्शन मीन्स इट इज ए काइंड ऑफ ए ब्रेक इवन. ये एक तरह का ब्रेक इवन मान के चलिए. वो ये कहता है कि मार्केट में प्राइस कितनी होनी चाहिए कि जिससे कि कॉल वैल्यू जितनी हमने निकाली है वो आ जाए उसको. तो लगभग इस पे कितना हो गया कि जो कॉल पे हमें फ़ायदा होना है वो हमारी मार्केट प्राइस के बराबर उसमें ऐड कर आ जाएगा, तो इसलिए इसका आंसर आएगा 607. सो इसी में स्टूडेंट्स का मिस्टेक था, मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट हैज कमिटेड मिस्टेक इन दिस सम. सो दिस वाज आवर question number 5th, second A. Now the third question was a theory question. 1C was a theory question, and this question is from the page number 11.4 of your study material. Although students have performed on average level, but main thing is that some student has written the irrelevant one. कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ने irrelevant points लिख दिए हैं, और स्टूडेंट्स ने कई ना प्राइस रिस्क और मींस रिस्क ऑफ द उसको कमोडिटी रिस्क प्राइस से कंफ्यूज कर गए हैं. स्टूडेंट, मैंने कल भी आपको एक बात कही थी कि जो शॉर्ट नोट्स होते हैं किसी कोचिंग सेंटर वाले के मैंने देखे थे, उसमें क्या लिखा हुआ है कि आप एक दो लाइनें अपनी जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग से लिख दीजिए. स्टूडेंट को जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग चीज़ नहीं होती. आप जब एक फाइनेंस का पेपर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं तो आपकी चीज़ें स्पेसिफिक होनी चाहिए, कॉमन नहीं होनी चाहिए, और उसी में स्टूडेंट्स मार्क्स लूज करते हैं. स्टूडेंट प्लीज नोट, एज आई डिस्कस यू यस्टरडे, स्टूडेंट normally refer the short notes available on the websites, and in one website, and I have noticed that they have written just write 1 or 2 lines with your own understanding, general understanding. So it is not the your general understanding, it is a particular subject understanding. Okay, because when we talk about finance, if I am taking the paper of strategic financial management, the solution cannot be taken from the costing paper. Okay, that is more important. Now in this question I am just quickly glancing through the answer. Just a second. Here the net position risk. Okay, basically net position risk, it is normally basically concerned with the interest rate risk, and it is a mainly important in case of a bank. So here you just note it down. If I'm just reading, then I will show you what are the, see, these are the our point that it is just need to be there. Now here please note the important line, where a bank have more earning assets than paying assets, interest rate risk rises when the market interest rate adjusted downwards. Now student, this is the correct point. Okay, it shows the sensitivity of the banking. If the interest rate are going down, of course they will be at a loss. ये लाइन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि इससे पता लगेगा कि बैंक की सेंसिटिविटी किस पे है. क्योंकि उसके पास इंटरेस्ट अर्न करने के सेट्स ज्यादा है, पे की कम है, तो ऑफ कोर्स अगर इंटरेस्ट डाउन जा रहे हैं तो उसके ही विल स्टार्ट लूजिंग द इंटरेस्ट. Okay, with the bank with a positive net interest position will experience a reduction in net interest income, and vice versa will be happen. Okay, clear? Okay students, now last point, the large float is a natural hedge against the variation in the large float. Means we keep a gap. Okay, we keep a gap. So that's why normally does not pay quickly, we keep some wait for some time. Suppose if interests are falling, what we do, we postpone our liabilities, because with the reduction of interest we of course we have to pay the less. Okay student, now next is price risk. As I told you, it is a price risk is relating to your bond. Okay, now it is very important, this line is very important, bond price and yield are inversely related. Now this is very important line. It shows that you know what is the impact of the bond on the price risk. So these are, you should note that you should write some key points in your answer. That key point should be visible in your answer, only then you will get the good marks. Okay students, now I am coming to the question, I think question number 2A. Now Vivek sir will take you to the question number 2A. Vivek, I am just taking 1 second. I just get it separate sheet. Okay, this is separate. Okay. Well, just you will just come here. Okay.
No,
Okay. You will manage. Okay. Now Vivek sir will take you to this question. They will solve it.
Now students, come to question number 2. This question relates to mutual fund. So just go through the question. Just a second.
Now you try it. Again, draw. If you want to write, just put that single.
Just go through the question very carefully. Mr. D, who is an investor, decides to invest in 3 mutual funds. So the facts regarding 3 mutual funds are there: mutual fund A, B, and C. As you see in the question, the amount of investment which D has made in all the 3 schemes is given. Net asset value at the time of purchase is given. Net asset value as on 31/3/2022 means opening NAV and the closing NAV is given in your question. Dividend yield is given, and annualized yield, that is effective yield, is also given. Now Mr. D has misplaced the document, so you have to help in identifying some of the figures. The first one is the number of units allotted in each scheme. So I will take point by point and explain to you how you will proceed through this question, how to solve this particular question. Now, first of all, calculate the number of units allotted in each scheme. Let us take mutual fund A in case of mutual fund A. So it will be the amount of investment divided by the NAV. You can say the NAV at the time of purchase or the opening NAV. So it is 2 lakh divided by 10. So it is coming to 20,000. In case of B also, similarly, in the same way, 5 lakh is the amount of investment. You divide it by NAV, opening NAV, and it will come to same 20,000. Then in case of C also, same 4 lakh, the amount of investment divided by the opening NAV, which is 20. So it will also come to 20,000. So this is number of units in all the 3 cases are 20,000. The next, which is, this is the point number 1.
You want to draw it just here. No, just here.
Thank you. Now come to point 2.
You want to add the sheet, then you can go for it another sheet because
Okay,
space is
fine.
less.
Fine. So let me add another sheet and go back to point.
Here, plus.
Go back to the next, which is value of investment as on 31/3/2022. So value of investment, number of units you have also already calculated. So multiply the value number of units by the NAV as on 31/3/2022, because value of investment is asked as on 31/3/2022. So how it will be calculated? This will be number of units multiplied by the NAV as on 31/3/2022. So in case of mutual fund A, it will be the number of units was 20,000 and NAV in case of A, that is 10.5, which is actually coming to 2,10,000. Okay. In case of mutual fund B, number of units 20,000 multiplied by the closing NAV, which is 22.8. It is actually coming to 4,56,000. And in case of mutual fund C, the number of units 20,000 multiplied by the closing NAV, which is 20.8. So it is coming to 4,16,000. Fine. So these two are comparatively easier. Now the next portion, third portion, it is asking that the holding period of his investment. So I will come to the next page. And in this case, let us calculate the So, before calculating the holding period, first of all, you have to calculate the yield. You have to calculate the yield in case of mutual fund A, B, and C. So, yield, there are two yield: capital yield, dividend yield. So, you will add these two yield. Your total yield will be calculated, and then you will calculate the yield percentage. So capital yield in case of mutual fund A. So capital yield in case of mutual fund A, it will be simply that if you can see the previous pages, that is it was it was 2,10,000 in case of A. So 2,10,000 deducted by 2 lakh in case of A, and 4,56,000 it is coming in case of B. So 4,56,000 minus the opening NAV, which is 5 lakh, and in case of C, the closing NAV is 4,16,000 and opening NAV is 4 lakh. So capital yield is basically nothing but closing net asset value minus opening net asset value, and then we will add the dividend also. So that will be the total yield or return of the investor, means capital yield, capital gain plus the dividend. So let us calculate the capital yield first in case of mutual fund A. It is 2,10,000 minus 2 lakh, which is coming to 10,000. And A dividend yield is actually 6,000. How this 6,000 has come? This is in the question, it is given that the dividend yield is 3%. So 2 lakh into 3%. 2 lakh into 3%, it will come to 6,000. So you will add the capital yield and the dividend yield. The total yield will be 16,000. And what will be the yield percentage? The yield percentage will be simply yield 16,000 upon what was the investment? 2 lakh. So 16,000 divided by 2 lakh into 100, it is actually coming to 8%. So yield is actually 8%.
Any problem?
Lakh.
You want?
Okay, fine. Okay. So yield percentage in case of A, it is 8.
What is problem? Eraser?
No, I have got it. Thank you.
Again draw. 1 second, 1 second.
No, I have got it.
You have to let me show. Yes, you have to. Here you have to scroll. You want black, no?
Yes.
Yes. No, it is.
Okay. Now in case of B, B, the capital yield will be this. It is coming 4 lakh 56,000. 4 lakh 56,000 less 5 lakh. So you will observe that in this case, the opening NAV is actually greater than the closing NAV. So it is the figure will be the minus. So it is actually the capital yield is in the negative. So dividend yield the same. The dividend 5% on this 5 lakh. So it is actually coming to actually 19,000. So in the same way, capital yield plus dividend yield, it is actually coming to into 25,000. So final figure which is coming is minus 19,000, and then the percentage, that is minus 19,000 divided by 5 lakhs. So it is coming to actually minus 3.8%. So yield will be in the negative in case of mutual fund B. In the same way, in case of mutual fund C, it is opening NAV 4 lakh 16,000, closing NAV 4 lakh 15,000, opening NAV 4 lakh. So it is coming to 16,000. And in dividend yield, the same way, coming to 16,000, it is given in the question 4% of 4 lakh. We add this to 32,000 is the total yield. We calculate the yield percentage, 32,000 divided by the investment, which is 4 lakh, which is actually coming to 8%. So we have calculated the yield, and now we will next we calculate the holding period. We will calculate the holding period. So holding period in case of A, holding period in case of B, and holding period in case of C. So A, it is 8% yield we have already calculated, and the effective yield which is given in the question is 9.733. So which is actually coming to about into 365 days. So it is actually coming to 300 days. In the same way, in case of B, you have calculated it 3.8 divided by the effective yield which is given in the question, that is the effective yield which is given in the question, that is 11.185 multiplied by 365, which will actually to 124 days. In the same way, in case of C, 8% we have already calculated, and 15% it is given in the question, multiplied by 365, which is actually coming to 195 days. So from this figure, you can calculate this is the point number 3. From this figure, you can calculate the date of original investment also. You can say that holding period means D has holded the investment which he has made in mutual fund A for 300 days. And total number of days, it is given in the question 365 days. So if we will deduct 300 days from the from 31/3/2022, we will easily get the original date of investment in this case. So it will be, if you deduct it, then you will get it. Actually, the date is 4/4/6/2021. Or another simplified method is that there are 365 days and the investment has been held for 300 days. So simply, if you add 365 days from the 1st April 2021, the same answer will come. So you can calculate it backward also, you can calculate from the front also. In the same way, in case of B, 124 days hold it means the investor D has invested or holded the investment in mutual fund B for 124 days. Okay, so what will be
there is one query, just you ready.
we need not to consider the negative sign.
In the solution, there is a negative figure, no?
The negative figure, yes, we will, because negative, it has become positive. Therefore, it was in the final 124 days, it is not reflected in the final 24 days. Yes, the negative figure in the numerator as well as denominator will be considered while calculating the holding period.
Student, please note in this regard, may I supplement some?
Yes,
in this?
yes.
Now, students, see here yield means appreciation. Okay, so when we are calculating the appreciating, we are calculating the days on the based on the you can send some kind of a linear relationship. It is going like that. Okay, in how many days it has reached to that level. Similarly, when we are talking about the negative yield, so we can consider how in how many days it has fallen down. So it is kind of a depreciation kind of a thing.
So in case of mutual fund B, it is coming to 27/11/2021, and in case of C, it is coming to 17/11/2021. Now the next part is total return on investments. That is, it is the fifth part. So it is nothing but is the total yield divided by the total investment. So it is actually total yield divided by total investment. So in case of mutual fund A, B and C, we have calculated it, and it will be Student, just wait for a second. Okay. So total yield we have calculated is 29,000, and total investment, if you see in the question, it is 11 lakh. You multiplied it by 100 and you get the total yield as 2.636%. That is the total return. And the next part, the question is asking that the sixth part, that assuming the past performance of all the three schemes, if it continue for next 1 year, what action the investor should take, and what will be the expected return for the next 1 year after the above action. So if all these investment are held after 1 year, assuming that the all past performance is same, you can easily say that mutual fund B has to be excluded. Why? Because mutual fund B is giving the negative yield, the negative return. So firstly, mutual fund B should be excluded, and mutual fund A can also be considered to be excluded. Why? Because the return of mutual fund A is 8%. The return of mutual fund A is 8% while holding the investment for 300 days. While the return of mutual fund C is 8% while holding it for 195 days. So mutual fund C is more profitable in compared to mutual fund A, in spite of the fact that both of them are giving 8% yield. So you can safely consider excluding mutual fund B and excluding mutual fund A, and reshift the entire investment into mutual fund C. For this, the return will be 15%. You will get the return at the rate of 15%. So this is the part 6th. The final part says that if your answer changes if the mutual fund charges exit load of 5%, if the investment is redeemed within 1 year. If you have get out of any of the mutual fund, for example, mutual fund A, B or C, and the mutual fund charges 5% exit load, means 5% exit charges. So what action do we take? What is your advice? In this case, again, mutual fund B is given negative return. So you can safely exit mutual fund B. While mutual fund C, you can safely invest it, because as I have said, it is giving 8% return while holding the investment for 195 days. It is the most profitable mutual fund C. But whether you should exit mutual fund A, the answer is you can wait for further 65 days, because mutual fund A, the Mr. D has been holding for 300 days. If he can hold for 65 days more, then he can save the exit load of 5%. So we can say that he can exit from mutual fund B, hold mutual fund A for 65 days more, and he can continue investing in mutual fund C. So that is the final conclusion in this question. So this is all about question number 2.
I will add some.
Yes, sir.
Your part is over.
Yes.
Okay, student. Now I want to supplement on the what I will discuss with Vivek sir. Now this question is basically, I'll just take back to your question number. Okay, this question number basically has been adapted from question number 12, page number 7.22 from study material. However, with the exception that there are 3 additional points, that is point number 5, 6 and 7. These are additional points this time. It was not in earlier study. And please believe me, student, although student has performed on a basically had average level, the performance was of average level. And because what happened, normally student has committed mistake in this part. And as I told you, student, please note, this time in examination, insistence, or you can say the our importance has been given to the our advisory part, because now when you are become a CFO, your advice is also important for the company. So that's why in this the performance was not up to the mark. Student even could not understand the requirement of these 3 points, although they were in very plain English and very easily understandable. स्टूडेंट्स, जैसा कि मैं बता रहा हूँ, इस बारी जो ये 3 पॉइंट्स एक्स्ट्रा थे जो उस क्वेश्चन के अलावा, तो उसी में बच्चों की परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी नहीं है और उस वजह से ओवरऑल परफॉर्मेंस का लेवल एवरेज लेवल आ गया है. तो इसलिए स्टूडेंट्स प्लीज नोट, थोड़ा पढ़ के आप अपना ऑन द स्पॉट आंसर दीजिए. ये बेटा स्टूडेंट अपने आप में हैबिट डेवलप कीजिए. ऑन द स्पॉट सॉल्यूशन आना बहुत जरूरी है. स्टूडेंट प्लीज नोट, इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू डेवलप द ऑनलाइन ऑन द स्पॉट solution, because you are becoming a CFO of a company and you are not expected to deal with the routine problems. You have to solve the problems that comes on an on-spot problem. New problems new challenges will be every day. So student, and even some what hasn't happened, some student has confused it with the EVA and MVA. So this was also some common problems has been noticed in this answer. Now Vivek, we can do one thing. This question, next question is your question number 2B, is basically relating to your share valuation. But actually this question is basically simply adopted from the, so we can skip it. Okay, okay student, I'm just, now next question is, one second. Student, next question is question number, now I'm just taking you to the sheet, answer this question paper. Now this question is basically has been adopted from page number, question number 10, page number 4.31. It is simply the adoption and only figures have been changed. So we are not discussing keeping in view the time factor. We shall discuss only those questions that normally has a new point. Like we have discussed earlier, only 2 questions that are consisting of the new point. And performance was also in average level. Only what is the problem that student could not calculate the future free cash flow to the firm correctly. And I just take you to the solution because if you see the solution in the study material, I'm just taking you to the final answer. The answer is, just note it down. The cost of equity first, the EPS will be, I'm just briefing out here, EPS, the answer will be 14.737. Cost of equity is 9.81%. And free cash flow to the firm, free cash flow to the equity is 7.5436. Okay, so the most error has been committed in this part, and that's why student has gone wrong. Now student, here sometimes a doubt may come into the mind of the student that sir, here it is not clear whether these are forecasted figure or it is a previous year figures. So we have considered both way, that either student can consider them as a expected figure, then your answer will be if you consider this figure an expected figure, then answer is rupees 287.25. And if you consider this figure as a last year figure, of course growth factor will be applied here, then your figure will be, sorry, my mistake. If you consider the expected figure, the answer will be, this is a 287.2825. And if you consider this figure as an expected figure, the answer will be this. So both answers has been considered as correct. Okay, student. Now I am coming to the question number 2C. 2C is purely theoretical question. I'm just taking to the solution. 1 second. Sorry. In this question, the performance below average has been recorded. Okay, why below performance has been recorded? Because student has been unable to write specific points. What are the specific points? These are the specific points. Even because in considering this as a financial planning, even some student has included the personal financial planning here. Okay, so even some student has confused with the financial decision making. So please student note that you have to write the specific as usual. Financial objective, the key points are here, need to be consistent with the corporate mission. It is very important. Okay, accordingly deciding the making the help in analyzing the financial problems, and financial measures like ratio analysis of cash flow are to be evaluated. So these are some key points that you need to be highlighted in your answer. Okay, students. Now I am coming to the question number. I think we can do one thing since time left is. So quickly, I am taking to you the question number 3A. Okay, just then we shall take up to the then I will discuss quickly the question. First, I am solving the question number 3A with you. Just read the question carefully. Now, students, this question has been adopted from illustration number 10 point. I think it a page number illustration 1. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me check it. It is illustration on the page number 10.8, 10.18, and also the question number 6B of July 2021 old scheme question paper session answer. Okay, students, here the question is relating to the GDR issue. Okay, because company is interested in expanding its operation and needs a fund of rupees 20 lakh net of issue expenses. It is very important, net of issue expenses. Okay, because we have to need the gross of the amount, and our flotation cost amount to 3%. So of course our amount will be more than, flotation will be more than 20 millions. Okay, flotation will be more than $20 million. To finance the project, it proposes to issue GDR following factors considered in the pricing. Expected market price of the share. So you should be clear that GDR is basically each GDR represents the some number of shares. Here the price of the share is 300, face value is 10. The 3 shares underline the each GDR, and price will be discounted at, and it will be priced at 10% discount. So of course 300 will be priced at 70 into 3. Okay, student. Now expected exchange rate 70. This is our expected rate, and 20% dividend is expected paid in the next year with a growth rate of 15. So of course here D1 upon P0 plus growth formula will be used here. Now question is, this figure is available with us. This figure is available with us. Now how we compute this value? This is the main crux. Another point, dividend figure is, please remember this 20% dividend will be on the our face value, not on the market value. This is normally student normally commits the mistake. You are required to compute the number of GDRs to be issued. So first requirement is requirement and the cost of GDR, because it is cost we have to compute the, just like cost of equity. If the company is able to raise the funds at the rate of 4% per annum and the rate is able to pay the wrong along with the interest from revenue generated from the operation, what is your advice? So this is the advisory part. Okay, let us quickly solve the question. First of all, we start with the working notes. First of all, we have to compute the issue size. So net issue amount, how much amount we require? $20 million. As I told you, the amount will be on higher side because there are floating cost. Okay. Now next part is issue price of GDR. As I told you, 270 into 3, it comes rupees 810. Okay, student. Now this issue price need to be computed in dollar because we are issuing it outside India. So we shall divide into expected rate, that is 75 per dollar. The amount comes dollar 10.80. So per GDR price will be 10.80. Okay, dividend per GDR. Now here dividend is our 20%. Okay, the 20% will be on a face value. Face value is rupees, has been given to you, it is rupees 10. So 20% becomes rupees 2. This is the okay, student. Now last net proceeds per GDR. Now we have to see in companies and what is actually coming in their hand. हमें यहाँ ये दिख रहा है कि एक GDR से इनके पास आ कितना पैसा रहा है, तभी हम जैसे हम कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी निकालते हैं तो कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी में हम करते क्या है कि भाई कंपनी के पास कितना आ रहा है उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से या एक इन्वेस्टर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मैं कितना इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, तो वही चीज़ यहाँ पे लगेगी. Okay, student. Now I am coming to the solution. First, number of GDRs to be issued. One GDR, it is million. One GDR is this figure is there. Okay, student. Now we are coming to the next part. Cost of GDR. It is very important. Now cost, as usual, what we do, we apply the KE formula. Here we are paying the dividend. Okay, 6 rupees. And our basically in Indian rupees, how much coming into the company's hand? Sorry. Second sheet. Now the company's hand, this is the amount is coming. Okay. So we write it here 785.70 plus growth rate okay student. So I hope how we have reached this figure must be clear to you. Now I am coming to the next part. If the company receives the offer from the US bank willing to provide an equivalent amount of loan with an interest rate of 4%, should it accept the offer? Yes, because it is costing us 15.76%. So this is the advisory part. Okay. Now the average performance has been recorded in this question, but because many students could not fail to calculate the cost of GDR, and even some case conversion into INR has not been done. So it is very important. The conversion factor is very important here because what is coming in the hand of the company, it is very important. Okay, it may be possible that in the question new rate may have been given. For a suppose if two rates have been given to you, I say here we are using 75. It may be possible that you may be given 75, 76, or you may be given 73, 75. So in that case, you have to see what is the selling rate of the buying rate of the Indian rupee, that is the selling rate of the dollar. Then you have to consider this 73. So this aspect need to be taken care of. Okay, student. So this was question number 3B. Now question number 2B, 3B is sorry, 3. It was 3A. Now question number 3B, student. I am just quickly just describing what is the answers are there. This question number 3B is basically has been adopted from question number 8, page number 5.66. And one more thing, student, I'm just jotting down the answers. First part is computation of beta value. So beta value, the final answer is 0.097. Second part, observation. Okay, buy, first is buy, then buy, then buy, and buy. Okay, observation was that. One second. Okay, student, in this average performance has been recorded because student has calculated the beta, but sometime it has been observed that student has even followed the long method in their answer. So it is advised, please follow the simple method. Now question number 3C is a theoretical question that has been taken from the question page number 10.15. So I think it is a foreign, I will just take you to the question, then I just show you the answer. Quickly just now foreign currency convertible debenture is a term where you are issuing the debentures in foreign currency convertible into the shares. Okay, so you are issuing initially you are issuing them in the foreign currency being raised in the form of, it is very important point. What is the key point? The money is issued in the form of foreign currency. Okay, and they are converted into the shares. But these options are also given the holder to convert them to the stock. So it means ultimately if they get converted into the equity share, so it means you are selling the equity shares in the exchange of the foreign exchange. That is the correct point here. Now what are the advantage? Of course, it gives the investor flexibility to convert the bond into the equity share at a price or redeem the bond. They have a choice. Next, companies prefer the bond as leads to delayed dilution of the equity, because immediately they need the fund. If they go for the equity, of course there will be dilution in the equity. तो कंपनी क्या करती है कि वो इन बॉन्ड्स को ले लेती है, जिससे कि थोड़ा पोस्टपोन हो जाता है, डिलेड हो जाता है. And so these are key points, students. FCC are easily marketable. These are easily marketable. ये मार्केट में जरा जल्दी बिक जाते हैं और कन्वर्जन इनका कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन है. तो these are it was a theoretical question, and in this the performance was average, below average rather. Why? Because mostly student has confused it with the, and they have written their own answer, their own version. Even some student has written that FCCB is a bond that is convertible into foreign currency at a maturity. So that is the general. Maybe a student have a general understanding. So that's why I'm saying don't write like this. Write like with a general understanding, your own understanding. Okay. Now I am coming to the question number 4. It is basically the same question. I think this is question number on the, I think, business valuation. No?
Business valuation plus 4 is the cash flow, free cash flow method on
Ah.
the basis of this security valuation.
So I think
related
this
to this.
again this question has been adopted, so I think don't need to go into nitty-gritties. Okay. This question is one second. I just take you through the question. This question is question from question number 7, page number 12.32. Okay, student. So this has been question has been adopted from there, and however, the performance, I'm just jotting down the answer here for your reference. Then I will discuss with you what are the problems or what are the performance. Okay, you are requested to find the value of the company, value of ABC. The final answer is 5497.6 crore. Sorry. Okay. Now the performance was average in this question, because most of the some students could not understand the requirement of the question, and even there was a flaw in the calculation of free cash flow. Even some student has wrongly calculated your cost of capital, and more important, even in this question there was a requirement of a terminal cash flow, that it was also wrongly calculated. So student, please note. And even the cost of capital of the stable growth phase, that it was highlighted here. Even student has cost of capital in this has been flawed. So please remember, when the question are almost from the study material, so please student, don't make the mistakes. Please understand the question and you can easily score the good marks. Okay, student. Now we are coming to question number 4B. I think Vivek, you should attempt this question, solve this question here. It has a mixture of some parts. Okay. Okay, just now it's your call. Sumit Jain is asking, sir, is it necessary to give reference to working note? You can give the reference. It is up to you. No problem. You can give the reference. You want to remove it?
Yeah.
One, you want to continue?
Yeah, continue.
Just take a draw. Then you. You can give the reference, no problem. Just like working note number 1, 2, 3, then you are referring in your main solution, no problem. It will be a good presentation.
Okay, student, let us go to question number 4B. It is part of the mutual fund. and some nitty-gritties are there which I will explaining to you while proceeding with this question. Now, let us first understand the question first. The question is saying that a mutual fund is coming out with an issue of a new fund offer on 1st January 2021, 10 lakh units, and the price of one unit is rupees 10. No entry load is there. Certain figures are given that whatever investment is a means, it has how much amount the mutual fund has raised. The mutual fund has raised 10 lakh units. The mutual fund has raised rupees 10 lakh at a rupees 10 each. Means total amount it has raised is rupees 100 lakh. And out of 100 lakh, it has made certain investment which has been given in front of the question. That is 25,000 equity shares, 5% government securities, 10% NCD, non-convertible debentures, unlisted, and 8% listed debentures. So whatever total amount of investment is made, you can easily calculate it. 80 lakh plus 4 lakh government securities, 5 lakh unlisted non-convertible debentures, and 10 lakh listed debentures. So it is coming to about rupees 99 lakh. So out of the total investment, out of the total amount is raised, mutual fund has raised 100 lakh, and out of that 99 lakh, it has been invested in the securities. Now, during the year, dividend of 8 lakh. Now, if you go through this question, the mutual fund has declared dividend of 8 lakh. Mutual fund has received dividend of rupees 8 lakh, and it has received interest on all these securities. And on 31st December 2021, its share prices has also been appreciated, means it is appreciated by 15%, and listed debentures have been appreciated by about for 15%, listed debentures appreciated for 20%. And on 15th December, in its annual general meeting, interim dividend of 10% have been received, and bonus share of 1:10 have been received. Now, just see that the prices have been appreciated by equity shares have appreciated by 15%. So you have to calculate this 320 into 15%. And if you observe it closely, the XYZ has issued bonus shares also. That is 1:10. Means for every 10 existing shares, one new shares have been issued in the form of bonus shares. So for 25,000 shares, if the for existing 10 shares, if for existing 10 shares, one share have been issued, then for 25,000 shares, how much new bonus shares will be issued? The answer is simple. It is 2,000. It is 2,500. So now how much is the total number of shares? 25,000 previously, and now 2,500 because of the bonus issue. So now the total number of shares will be actually 27,500. That is 35,000 plus 2,500. Okay. And further, the value of equity shares have been raised by 15%. So 320 multiplied by 115%, it is actually coming to 368. So value of equity shares has been increased, and the number of equity shares have also been increased. So why I'm telling this? Because these have to be considered while calculating the NAV as on 31st of December 2021. Okay. So now let us solve this question. I have explained this question to you. Let us solve this. Okay. So first of all, while calculating the NAV, first of all, you have to calculate the NAV. Okay. NAV as on 31st of December. If you see that the investment, there are certain changes in the investment during the course of 1 year. And the calculation of cash balance is very important in this case, because if you observed, and as I have explained while going through this question, that there are various involvement of cash. First of all, when the mutual fund has issued the mutual fund, it has issued 10 lakh units and the price of one unit is rupees 10. So total 100 lakh means out of 100 lakh it has received. So the issued amount of mutual fund is rupees 100 lakh. How it has arrived at 10 lakh units multiplied by 10. So first of all, I will just tell you how to calculate this cash balance. And out of that, the total investment which it has made, as I've calculated during the question, that it is 80 lakh equity shares plus 4 lakh government securities plus 5 lakh unlisted non-convertible debenture plus 10 lakh listed debentures. So it is coming to about 99 lakh if you calculate it. You can calculate me alongside. So out of the issued amount 100 lakh, 99 lakh has been utilized for the investment. So company is, the mutual fund is left with rupees 1 lakh. Out of this 1 lakh, certain other involvement of cash is there because it is given in the question that the mutual fund has received rupees 8 lakh as dividend. So this dividend will be added rupees 1 lakh. So I will just write this figure as 100 lakh or 1 crore. So I will add 1 lakh and interest on all the debt securities has been issued, has been received. So on 5% government securities, how much interest has been received? Interest on government securities, the interest received is 20,000. Okay. Interest on non-convertible debentures, 10% non-convertible debentures, it is 50,000. Then interest on 8% listed debentures, it is actually 80,000. Okay. Now another thing is given in the question. The mutual fund has received.
Student is saying dividend is 8 lakh, I think.
No.
It is
See.
Interim dividend is 1 lakh. Dividend received is 8 lakh, no? Just.
Okay, my mistake. Okay, sorry. This dividend is actually 8 lakh. The figure is 8 lakh. It is given in the question. Thank you for pointing me out. So the total dividend rupees 8 lakh. Interest on government securities 20,000. And interest on non-convertible debenture 50,000. Interest on listed debentures 80,000. Okay, fine. Now another thing which is given in the question is that the mutual fund has received the interim dividend also, because XYZ company in which the mutual fund has invested has declared the interim dividend of 10%. So this 10% is calculated on this amount. The dividend is received on this face value. So the 10% received, that is rupees 1. So the total number, the dividend which has been received, the interim dividend received is about rupees 1 lakh. So 1 lakh, the interim dividend, it has been, just calculated. Out of 100 rupees XYZ, the equity shares, 100 rupees, the 10% is rupees 10. So 25,000 into 10, it will be 2,50,000. So how interim dividend is calculated? It is given in the question, it is calculated at the rate of 10%. And the face value of equity shares is 100. So 100 into 10, 10% is rupees 10. And rupees 10 will be multiplied by the number of equity shares. That is 25,000 equity shares multiplied by 10, which is coming to 2,50,000. So interim dividend is 2,50,000 interim dividend, which will also be added, and from that figure the operating expenses will be deducted, because it is given in the question that operating expenses are also there. So operating expenses are deducted from that, and the amount of operating expenses which is given is rupees 3 lakh. So let us calculate this final figure. It is coming to about 10 lakh. So it is cash balance at the end. So by this we have calculated the cash balance. First of all, we calculate the total issued amount, which is 100 lakh. Out of that, total investment has been made, which is 99 lakh. The mutual fund is left with 1 lakh. Then it has received dividend of 8 lakh, which is added. It received interest on government securities 20,000. It has received interest on non-convertible debenture 50,000. It has received interest on listed debentures, which is 80,000. Further, it has received interim dividend also, which is 2,50,000, and some of the operating expenses, which is 3 lakh rupees, has also been deducted. So the total cash balance at the end is rupees 10 lakh. So now we have got the cash balance of rupees 10 lakh. We can calculate the net asset value, which has been asked in the question as on 31st of December. So let us now calculate the net asset value. So cash balance rupees 10 lakh, 5% government securities, 5% government securities, no change as it is, we will write it 4 lakh. Then equity shares. Equity shares, as I've calculated the question itself, the bonus shares have been issued. For 10 existing shares, 1 bonus share is issued. So if there are 2,50,000 shares, then further 2,500 shares are issued. Okay. So it will come to 27,500. So equity shares will be 27,500 multiplied by rupees 368. How this 368 came? The price of the equity shares which is given in the question is 320. You multiplied it by the 115% because the increase which is given in the question is 15%. So 320 into 115%, which is 368. And the number of equity shares has also been increased from 25,000 to 27,500 because of the bonus issue. So we multiplied it to 27,500 into rupees 368, which is coming to 1 crore 1 lakh 20,000. Okay. Now 10% non-convertible debentures as it is, no change. Then 8% listed debentures. It is given in the question that it is increased by 20%. So it will be, and the amount which is given in the question is 10 lakh. So 10 lakh into 120%, which it will be 12 lakh. So listed debentures is coming to 10 lakh, increase of 20%. It is 12 lakh. Fine, we add all these figures, which is actually coming to 1 crore 32 lakh 20,000. So it is the total assets. Number of units it is given in the question itself, it is 10 lakh. So you divide the total asset by the number of units, you will get the net asset value or NAV per unit, which is coming to 13.22. So it is the NAV on 31st of December. So the question is relatively easy. You only have to consider the cash balance. Once the cash balance is calculated, then you take the revised figure, total all the figures, it will come to total assets. Number of units is given in the question. You divide the number of units by the total assets. You will get the NAV per unit. So first requirement of the question is satisfied. Now, what the second part of the question is asking? The second part of the question is asking that you have to find the NAV if the mutual fund has distributed a dividend of 0.5 per unit. In the question, rupees 10 per unit, it is the face value. So out of it, 0.5 per unit has been. So 0.5 multiplied by the number of units. So 0.50 per unit. It is the dividend which the mutual fund has been distributed. You multiplied it by 10 lakh units. And the resultant figure which you will get is rupees 5 lakh. So it is the 5 lakh dividend the mutual fund has distributed. So what it means? It means 5 lakh, if the mutual fund has been distributed, it means the cash balance has been reduced by 5 lakh. So you can either deduct this 5 lakh from the cash balance, rupees 10 lakh, so it will be 5 lakh. So ultimately, rupees 5 lakh will be deducted from the whole figure. You can directly divide it from the total asset itself because the cash balance has been reduced by 5 lakh. Okay. So now, the total assets are 1 crore 32 lakh 20,000 minus 5 lakh. Okay, which is actually coming to 1 crore 27 lakh 1 crore 27 lakh 20,000. Fine. So this is the total assets. Number of units, same, 10 lakh. You divide the total asset by the number of units, you will get the NAV per unit, just like the previous part. Same. So 1 crore 27 lakh 20,000 divided by 10 lakh, you will get 12.72. Now in the second part of the question, the NAV is rupees 12.72. Now the first two part has been considered. What the third part of the question is asking? The third part of the question is asking that if you are the investor, you have to find out what is the annualized return you have got. So annualized return in this case, annualized return in both the 2 points, point 1 and point 2. So we will take step by step. In point 1, what is the annualized return? So annualized return point 1 will be 13.22. It is the closing NAV minus the opening NAV, which is 10 given in the question, divided by 10 into 100, which is 32.20%. Fine. Now the second part. If you consider the second part, what the second part said that the mutual fund has distributed a dividend of 5 lakh. So what we did, we deduct the 5 lakh from the total assets, and our net asset value has been reduced from 13.22 to 12.72. So in the second part, what may be the annualized return? It will be 12.72. The NAV which closing NAV which we have just computed minus 10 opening NAV divided by the opening NAV multiplied by 100. It will come to, and then one thing, students, so 12.72 minus 10 plus 0.5, because as an investor you are also receiving the dividend, no? Because mutual fund is distributing dividend, so as an investor you are receiving it. So 0.5 will be added, multiplied by 100. So it will be come to 32.2% itself.
What is the full marks to that solution also? But please remember, there will be no change in the final answer, because what is happening, only the cash position will be changed. Okay, cash position will change because the figure of dividend receivable will be considered as a asset. Ultimately, NAV will remain the same, so there will be no problem. And students, the performance was average in this question, because maximum, most of the students failed to calculate the correct cash balance figure, and even some students could not properly conceive the concept, or you can say they could not materialize in a proper manner the concept of the interim dividend. This was a new concept. So student, their performance. Now students, is seeing the positive of time, I am just taking you to the question number 5b directly, because time is very short with us. Anyhow, we will shortly we are coming out with the suggested answer. Then you will, if you have any query, you can contact us. I will just take the technical analysis question. Okay. Now this question is question number it's a 5th B. Now student, please see, this question is basically technical analysis question, and this question is question number 1 from the page number 3.3 of the study material. Now, but there are some changes in this question. First of all, just give me the study material.
Yes.
Thank you. In the questions, you see, you have been given the EMA exponential. Okay, the value of exponent has been given to you, but here exponent value has not been given to you. But in the study material, we have explained to you how you have to compute it. It is 2 divided by n plus 1. Since you have to compute the EMA for the 15 days, so it comes 1 plus this. So computation of this factor is here. Okay, another point is, in the question, exponential moving average of the previous month has been given to you. But please student note, since here simple moving average has been given, we can continue the answer continue to answer with the same. Okay student, in this question the performance was below average, as student fails to understand the concept of the question. Now above average performance has been recorded in the question number 5C. Question number 6A is basically question number 6 or the page number 5.66. So overall performance has been good. So we are not going to discuss the same. Now I am coming the most one very important question, for which the performance has been poor performance has been observed in the question, and I will show you what was the common problem. See here, this question is basically a collar, floor and cap, that is collar. Okay, so here there, just I'm just reading out the question. Interested in the interest rate collar. So he will buy the cap and sell the floor. Now student, just I want to tell you, in this question, please note the reset date is basically 13 December 2018. Please note, when we have to make adjust the payment, the days should be on a prospective basis, not the retrospective basis. Accordingly, the number of days shall be considered like that: January 19, 31 days; February 19, 28 days; March 2019, 31 days; and April 19, 19 days, and May 19, sorry, not 30 days, it is 30 days, it is 31 days, and June 19, it is 30 days. So total coming 181 days. Now mainly student has committed a mistake here. What they have done, they have taken the previous days. So it was the main reason of their poor performance. Otherwise, student have performed well in this overall paper. Result was very good. So with this student, we are ending up our session of this BOS for your success. Student, I want to just share with you our contact number, as well as, of course, there you are now, you have many sources to contact us, but I'm just want to share my two ways with you can contact me. You can contact me over the directly, because it's a direct phone number, 0120 3045 956. Okay, you can discuss, because now the examination time is there. Instead of writing the long queries, please you contact me over here. My email ID is sfm dash final @ici.in. Okay, I'm just writing in the capital letters, sfm dash final. It is all in small, @ici.in. You can send the email to me, but please remember, please mention your name, properly mention your name, registration number, and telephone number, because normally I observed that students are sending the query without any details. So it is advisory, please send your, don't worry, nothing, because there are rumors in the market that don't contact board of studies, they will create a problem for you. Student, please note that even you have find some inconsistency, error in the study material, you are free to contact me, because it will helpful for us and even for the future student also. And if you have any misunderstanding, or if any doubt, you can contact me directly. So with this student, from board of studies, we wish you for your success in examination, and you come out with the flying colors, and you become the members in the examination after this November 2022 examination. Okay, students, good luck, best of luck, and have a nice day. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now the session is over. Tech support.